Hey everybody, I'm on with my friend Oakland City Council District 4 candidate Nenna Joyner, who also is the founder and president and brand representative of Fillmore on the corner of Telegraph and 17th Street. Great store. Go in and check it out, folks. It's got outstanding products, an outstanding personality, outstanding philosophy. And I'm blessed to have her on right now to talk about her candidacy. And in the process, make me really, really hungry because I got to eat, which will make my mom really happy because, I'm eating her.
This would be good for her tummy. Like,
Yeah. How you doing and what you eating?
I'm eating bun cha Hanoi, which is a Vietnamese meat. Everything is a meat in a noodle dish, but this is a meat dish, seasoned meat with noodles, and yeah. So it's a popular dish in Hanoi. So you have a lot of Vietnamese people who are from all of the regions, but here in the Bay Area, it's very hard to get because most of the Southerners came here after the war. And so you will have different regional foods, and you have to ask for certain things, and sometimes when you get them, you don't get all the elements of the North. You'll get some pieces in there of the South, but the flavor is still incredible.
How do you know all of this?
Man, I'm around Oakland. Really, I'm definitely around Oakland right now. I'm in District 2, and ever since I got to Oakland, I've always traveled every part of it, and never afraid of it. And I think that's the beauty about Oakland. It's just not your neighborhood. It's Oakland as a whole. Everything is something different, and just to see, I like smaller businesses, and it's quiet in here, clean, great service, great food. But when you see people just working towards, living,
Yes.
it's beautiful to see.
Hey, tell everybody where you're at right now.
I am at Pho King, which is the original pho noodle house, and it's on East 14th International Boulevard and 8th between 8th and 9th. So it's right across from Clinton Park.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, so
Yeah.
real quick, out of respect for your time, and how is the campaign going? And I thought maybe you had been overseas in Hanoi or something, but you learned all this just being in Oakland, right?
Yeah, definitely Oakland. I actually traveled to Vietnam before. I have traveled a lot, and I think you have to see other people's perspective and to have an appreciation. Sometimes people will connect with communities around food, but and to say, oh, or commerce, like for Vietnamese women, it's my nail lady or my tailor or this, that, and the other. But if you really don't get to the country, you're missing the true elements of why they are and who they are. They're
Mm-hmm.
very peaceful people. Like they like to be outside at night. This is very odd. Like right now, we are in Vietnam, or 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, everybody would be out, kids, families, in a safe community. And so that's exactly what they deserve in their community, to be able to replicate what home feels like and make home here. And so too is being black in Oakland. You have to. I want to be the type of black in Oakland, and I say that to say that I want to make sure that I'm connecting with all of the communities and not intentionally segregating myself from communities that don't look like mine.
How long have you been in Oakland?
Oh, 27 years. So rode the bus, walked the streets. I'm not a street walker, but I walk the streets.
Are you? Tell about your business since you said that, because that's interesting.
I got a bone to pick with you. Last time you put something up, and
Everybody
you
has a
put the
bonus.
you put the video or a photo of the video where I was talking about how I started sex toys, and I think I had a dildo or something in my hand at that time. I don't know what it was.
Wait,
It was
how
just
long
funny.
ago
I was
was
like,
that? How long
I
ago
don't
was
know. I would say it was probably 10 pounds ago. That's how long it was.
10 what?
Um,
10 what?
10 pounds. 10 pounds. That's how long ago it was. Um, But
These
yeah,
pounds, light.
yeah, 10 pounds. No, I'm not, I'm definitely 10 pounds heavier. But no, I
I
started to
remember
feel
what you
more
were
out of the
talking
trunk
about.
of my car.
I remember what you were talking about. Yeah, let me have it. What are you
Yeah, yeah,
talking about? I thought that
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
cool.
You know, I'm giving it
I
to
thought
you
that
for
was cool.
all. I'm giving it to you for all the ancestors behind me that had problems with your videos and never told you. So I'm gonna tell you right now. But no, I started to feel more at the trunk of my car,
I have
and
21,000 videos. There's something there you like.
how many? 21,000.
21,000.
That's what's up. I think you have this presence that people really enjoy. So and they think that they know you, but they don't know what's gonna come out your mouth and what you're gonna ask. So it keeps them on guard, keeps them on toes. So I don't know what this man is gonna ask me. We haven't scripted nothing. This is campaign season, but this he's not giving me a questionnaire. So I don't know what's gonna transpire today. But to your
This
question,
is about you,
I
though.
started to feel more at
You're
the
the
trunk of my
star.
car. Yeah, I started to feel more at the trunk of my car around Oakland and BART stations, parking lots, and just kept going and kept going. And one day had the opportunity um, to open a store in downtown Oakland, and I took it. And it's been
Yeah.
the best thing for me personally, not money wise, but it's been personally the best thing for me to see how I see myself. Sometimes we don't do things in community or in life or follow our dreams because we just see we look at ourselves through the lens of what we think the world looks at us. And selling sex toys, wasn't easy. People would laugh at me and, oh, that's the sex lady or snicker or stuff like that. And as time went on, they felt that I was really dedicated to it, which I am, definitely about safe sex and also sexual expression. And I finally broke through that where people started to know my name and respected my name, that I am really a business owner and not just some joke, because I'm not. And sex is very serious. And we're in Oakland. We have an opportunity I had an opportunity to do something different, create a different narrative, especially for people of color who I'm on East 14th. So if you know Oakland or if you don't, it's always been historically about sex work. Some of the sex positivity around here gets very dampered by a lot of the negative sex experiences in Oakland, and we're on East 14th. Right here on the corner is a couple, sex workers, and they could be underage, they could be minor, they just look young, but to be able to talk openly, to express that there are different viewpoints around sex and sexuality, and that a lot of people want to celebrate that even in Oakland. And so that's definitely what I'm about.
And so how did you get the idea to start the business? Because I was actually looking at, the news basically is there's no video that I have that's critical of you.
Uh-huh.
So much a blog post, but
Uh-huh.
um, there's no, I just typed Gilmore 510 and there's nothing there. So,
Uh-huh.
uh,
So
but,
so how
but,
did I start? Why did I start? Or
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, just basically to heal my own sexual trauma. I used to work at Clorox, so I worked at Clorox for about 8-9 years till they outsourced. But in that time, I was like, I'd really like to work for a sex shop, on the side. And I went to Good Vibrations. I went to all of the secrets. We've had a lot down up and down Broadway Telegraph, and no one hired me. I went to the city, wanted to work at some seedy places that were doing like massage parlor. No one would hire me. I don't know. I went in there with a suit on. Now I come to, candidate forums with a hat on, and people say I'm not ready, but I went with a suit and no one will hire me. So I did that. I wanted to start this one because it was because I didn't get that experience as a kid around my body positivity, as a person who had. I didn't understand how Roe v. Wade played into my life then because I was very young. But I also knew that the community was having a lot of sex, but we didn't talk about it. And so you either had an abortion, you didn't talk about it, you had kids, you just went on with your life, but where was the pleasure in all of that? And so for me, I wanted to have conversations around consent, what it was about, to when someone says they love you or someone touches you on your shoulder, what does that mean? And having appropriate relationships, you know, within community, age appropriate relationships and within the Black community. And I didn't have that. And so I wanted to make sure that as I opened the store, I was really just healing myself first. But secondly, I knew that there were other people out there who didn't have positive expressions of sex conversations, even old, young, or whatever you like. And they were just villainized around their body and around what they did. And it was very shameful. One of the things my parents were addicts. So I went to a lot of AA meetings. And one of the things was how to protect people's privacy, which we do with the store. So it's just who I am as a person. I don't do talk. I don't chatter. I think that's very unproductive for community, for people, for souls, for healing. Very unproductive. But I wanted to make sure that as I was healing myself on a day-to-day basis, people who may look like my aggressors, that every day I was able to exercise a yes and a no in boundary setting, a yes and a no in boundary setting. Because if you didn't come in, I didn't play. If you came in talking mess, I didn't play with you. And so it's boundary setting and being very clear in what I was saying and my intention. And I felt that I was really speaking to that child self of mine and wanting to, since we're near schools, wanting to show kids, I don't have to show them sex. I just have to show up every day and show them a positive experience and be outside and talk to them, ask them about their school. So their impression and experience with Fillmore has been one of responsibility for the community. You know,
That's powerful. And how is that translating into your decision to run for District 4? I mean,
yeah. Well, 13 years running a business, but I've been downtown a long time. So people really thought, it's funny. They think you run a business. They think you live in the back of the store. I don't know. What sitcom was that where they lived in the back of the store? I think it was, I think it was the Jeffersons used to live in the store, but,
oh, and by the way, on that note, we both have to, she knows the late Peter Van Cleef. So,
okay.
Right. So I just want to,
we talked about it yesterday.
And Peter was a great guy.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
He's another great person that Peter knew, right?
Yeah. We get there early. I mean, as I said, I worked at Clorox, so he was the only business really open downtown. There was a doggy diner, there was an insurance place on the corner from Van Cleef, but he was the only one. And a friend of mine's mom owned the Cater to You, and Roseals was always down there. Mr. Brown passed away. He was a black building owner down there. His wife still owns it. And Peter was always in early. I was in early. Peter was in early. And so he set a model for me. It's just love what you do, love the people, give the experience. And so as I look around his space now, and several people on his team has died since he has died, it's home. It's home. Like I want to make sure that places like that stay there, because when you come back to Oakland.
Who else passed away?
His nephew died from an overdose. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that was years ago. Yeah.
He was cool. They used to all come in the store. They would get their gloves, their bartending gloves from us, and just good people. Come check on us. Like I go into Peter's all the time and just get grapefruit, greyhounds without the gray.
Great, I like that. Greyhounds without the gray.
Because he got his old time drinkers in there, and so I just go in there and mess with them. Sometimes I would take them cock rings up in there. They're like, "What is this? I'll take that," Yep. But that experience and just seeing how business owners, it used to be like my grandmother owned a grocery store, and it used to be where hard work was enough. And as she lost her business owner, it wasn't that she did bad business. It was also a cocktail of the crack epidemic at that time. It was also redevelopment that our communities didn't really know about, because if you're sitting there with segregation already against you, you're like, what's redevelopment? Because nobody like us is informing the community and making sure that we're aware of the laws that influence how we live, and we just don't realize it from that perspective. And so all of the hard work I've done being downtown, I remember getting out of college from Florida A&M, and walking across Franco Gower Plaza thinking I'm going to the city and get a job. They were like, we're not hiring.
Yep.
You know, they weren't hiring. I was like, how can a city not hire? Like, what is going on? I see opportunities out here. I know you're hiring and not hiring. But all of that, and also more so being a business owner, not just the 13 years, but since I was a child, to see how hardworking people get so left behind in the small businesses, and everything specifically for mine. My grandmother had a grocery store. Soul Space across the street was a shoe store. Miss
Yeah.
Tina, Miss Tina,
That was your wow.
sells the great fish sandwiches. You know, the Korean spot across the street, they just sell straight breakfast food. And how we just want to go to work. And a lot of it is crime. A lot of it is access to capital. A lot of it's public safety, infrastructure. You know, can people, do you have street lights outside where people can walk? You know, I actually used to double park in the red zone because I used to park in West Oakland when I was coming to Fillmore. I used to park in West Oakland, walk back, and then go get my car and then walk back so that I could be safe enough to get in my car at night because I was the only one working it till 10 o'clock at night.
Hey, by the way,
You know?
you're talking about the person that passed away. I believe it was Eric, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, he's right here. There he is. And that was my tribute to him. I just wanted to play that part of that real quick because he.
San Francisco. He left Oakland for San Francisco. He used to be a cafe man. He turned me on that pizza joint that Rocky had, right? That's right. And now you're in San Francisco. I went to the mountain. They made me a supervisor to manager immediately. Congratulations. Now you're a zombie tonight, right? Yes. No, tonight I'm Two-Face. Oh, wait. You're in the bird jacket. The bird hat.
Funny guy. I missed that guy.
I don't think that's the one I'm talking about, but a couple people. But I'll send you the photo so you can post it up. I don't want to dead a guy if he ain't dead. So somebody be like, Zenny said he died. You know, I want to say that's not the one I'm talking about, but I'll show you the one. He was like a rocker. But he was his nephew, you know, of course, the family lines, you know, white people do that family lines like black people. That's my cousin. It's not really my cousin. So I'll send you a photo because, they're just good people, You know, I even miss downtown. I miss the Measure Z folks who over at Oaksterdam, you know, what was his, Rich used to roll in the Fillmore, just say what's up to me in his wheelchair. You know what I mean? Like cool people. You know, that was a foundation for the landscape in downtown Oakland. Like, I'll never forget that because those people, and I say those, they fed me, like literally fed me. You know, I can remember across the street when Obama's campaign was there. It wasn't that I was like, you know, black people were always skeptical. It's like, he's not going to win. Oh, you know, they're not going to let us in there, that whole conversation. But it was his team that led me to believe that this is possible. They used to bring me food. I couldn't even afford food downtown. I used to take $5, go to Chinatown, and I say, this is all I have.
I was one of the first people in Oakland to back the President Obama. That's how I met Tony West. Yeah. This goes back to December 7th of 2006. That's how I got involved with the Obama campaign. So, yeah, I mean, from day one, it was a fun uphill battle that, you know, was great to win. You know, really
and so, you know, even with Obama winning several times, and not only just winning, championing a whole different democratic system and policy. You know, people out there really wanting to do the work. They were inspired by that, and he was like, "I'm going to win, and I believe I can win in America." As a black man. And, you know, I'm in District 4. And District 4 is 10% black. 10%. There's 26% black in the whole city, but 10% black is in District 4. This would be the first time that a black person would be in that seat.
Yeah.
I still believe that is possible. I still believe that is possible. I'm not looking at that stuff. I still believe it's possible. But I also believe that I'm a good candidate. One, I've been here in Oakland for a very long time. I'm able to connect with different communities. Two, I've done the work for a very long time. Three, I've worked in Oakland for a very long time. or I have served in Oakland for a very long time. You know, this is the Oakland's opportunity to not just build. We're good at building, but they need to develop. I'm an Oakland asset. I need you to develop this asset. You know, like I need everybody to get behind me, to donate, to help, to pitch in, because people will say, oh, you got in late. No, I didn't. I got in right on time because I've been doing the work. You know, I could have ran a long time ago, but it was also the stigma of myself, that I stigmatized myself and held myself back with the sex stuff, you know, and thinking that no one would like me or they would just laugh at that. They're not even bringing it up.
No,
You know, they're not even bringing it up.
To tell you real time, I'm shocked you have that point of view. I would never associate that point of view with you. You put out a positive attitude, you know, and everything that you did. The simple fact that you were there, right, was a positive attitude, because at a time when I think, and still now, but even more so then, people don't know how to think about sex or accept what it is in our lives as really just a healthy measure of keeping it alive. Like, in the effort to keep this clean, though, but there's certain activities that older Black men should do to avoid prostate cancer that have to do with, you know, sex.
Milking,
okay?
yeah.
All right.
Seriously.
That's just keeping us alive. So I think a lot of credit goes to what you've done. And also there was a store on, it may still very well be there, on Lakeshore. The name of which just flew right out of my head. But,
mine too.
Yeah. And so my point is, I would encourage you to look differently at the zen you put out there. I think what you've done is magnificent. I really do.
Yeah, I think it's transformative as well. You know, it speaks to the people that we have working for us and how they feel about being there, and just the community appreciation that we've got, not just from in Oakland, but beyond Oakland, that people come back here as a tourist destination for Fillmore. And that's very powerful. I have a Black building owner. I'm Black, you know. We make sure that we get out in people of color community and Black communities to do the work. And I also just, you know, not just doing the toy to you know, business to consumer, the toy to toy, but I'm out there doing contract work with agencies to help with HIV prevention around the country. Like, it's just a whole different thing. And, you know, I get so many speaking opportunities from here to Germany to talk about sexual expression. But every time I talk about it, it's also in line with business and also government policing the bodies. And, you know, that's what's happening. That's what's happened. Yeah.
Hey, talk to me about District 4. How has the current representative done? And what do you see as your responsibility to take over what she's left? What she has? What is she leaving to you?
Well, there's a lot of redistricting, so you can't really say what's left. This is just a fresh start for me. But I think she's left a foundation, especially around fire management for me is really, really important. And also, I would say, I don't know if you call it Parks and Rec, but just making sure that assets are preserved. That's what I play pickleball up in Montclair. I got a racket in my car right now. I got balls in my car. I really love it. And anytime I get 5 minutes, it's a real quick game because people are waiting to play with other people, which I like. But I live in Allendale, and I lived there before the renovation of the tot lot, and I'm there now to see it. I talked and interacted with the crews while they were doing the work. Like, those things of fighting and championing for your community is all you can continue to lay upon, because it's not what she left me, it's what she left the community. What she's leaving the community is, which is key. It's not a me, it's a us. And as a community, there's a lot of great things out there, you know, and things that I definitely will build on, because I moved back to District 4 because mental health is real, and I wanted to always feel like I was in a park. And I think District 4 is that park atmosphere for me, that I want to always be outside, that I can walk to the stores, that I can just look up and see trees, or, you know, like today I did Chabot Space and Science Center.
Yeah.
enjoying the community. And there are people who love on this big outdoor park called District 4. And that's what I expect to bring to it. But I also expect to bring to this district more automation, more systems. My background, like I said, I worked at Clorox, so it was network engineering, talking about systems. How do you really be efficient around what you're doing so that more people can get served? And also, we're not so much as repeating the same thing. We share into a knowledge base, and we decentralize. We decentralize it to be from every person to be to every person sitting at the same time. And I just don't think the city of Oakland actually utilizes information technology very well at all. You know, you can look up on your phone right now and see our website. It's like, what is this? And so it's not a great repository. It's not a great actionable, call to action system. And we have to change that, because I think if we transform that, we also transform how we do the job in council.
Do you know system dynamics? Just curious.
Mm-hmm.
You model system dynamics.
Go ahead, speak about it. So maybe I know what you're saying, but not in the language. Go ahead.
Oh, sure. System dynamics is a modeling language which I'm expert in, that was created by J. Forster in 1956 at MIT. And it basically takes differential equations and it distills it into expressions of stock, flow. A stock is something that accumulates, like population.
What you talking about? What you trying to say?
Oh,
what would that look like? Give me that expression.
Yeah, sure. The beauty of system. Okay, a stock. This is the stock. This is actually a square in system dynamics parlance. Okay, what causes it to increase is what we call an inflow variable. So the stock goes up, right? What causes population to increase? Births and migration, right?
I got what you're saying. You're saying data modeling. I don't want to do the data. Not to say I don't want to do that. I used to work at Florida Department of Corrections in college. I worked in statistics and some other departments there. But what I'd like to do is get back-end systems that allow us to do work and be more efficient to a current point. That's number one. Number two, there is data modeling that can happen within departments to doing more predictability. Yes, but I'm talking about specifically the tools of a job. One of the things in Oakland is we're always behind on our tools of a job. Think about fire department, they're crowdsourcing for things. Think about teachers, they're crowdsourcing for things. We have to get to the point where people have the tools that they need to do the job. And that's also at the council level as well. We need to have the tools to get the job. And what's happening right now is we don't have enough money to go around. So we have to find ways to be creative to find money so that we can spend money. As a business, this. I mean, it's the in. If there's no in, there's no out. And we need to really, really do that. And I think one of the highest, the easiest generators is like small businesses while things are being developed. You have fees, you have income, transfer tax. But while things are being developed, we also have these small businesses out there that can generate, taxes. But we have to make sure that they're safe. One of the things, I'm from Vegas, and I will say that to the day I die because my parents were buried there. One parent here, one there, so I'm from both places. But Vegas has a unique opportunity, a unique value proposition that it's 24 hours. Now, Scott Wiener just came up with the 4 a.m. rule where bars and places will open from 4 a.m. But what happens if we don't have safety around that? Not everybody will be able to take advantage of that, depending on the cost that the city puts in. We need to get to more hours that we can operate, but that means collectively and equitably. I think Chinatown, Little Saigon would be like very much rolling in sales tax in tax base if they could stay open longer. They're closing at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because of safety.
How about the district where LaSalle is on Mountain, and I'm concerned about the businesses there because
Woodminster.
I'm concerned they haven't really recovered from the pandemic. What say you?
I think every business corridor around here could have. When I first came into Oakland, into the business space, there was a redevelopment money that was coming from the state that it was giving to storefronts in Oakland. They shut that program down. So I think we do need to bring that back to be able to redevelop areas. That's a really small area. I don't think it should take that much time. But each business that is there in that Woodminster portion before you go up to Joaquin Miller? Is that where you're speaking about?
Actually, it's more on the way.
Oh, you're talking about like up the hill.
Where Kroger's is. Krogan's, I'm sorry. Krogan's bar is on the corner there. And the South comes down and it hits mountain, and if you turn right, you
Give
take
me another business. Give me a business.
Yeah, sure. Eggplant Apple Press was right up the street there. The bank around the corner. There was, again, Krogan's on the corner. Krogan's is a Skyline High hangout for people like myself. Bar. If you go up the street from Krogan's and then you turn right, there's a Pete's Coffee over there. If you go further down, it used to be called Lucky's. Now it's called Albertsons.
Oh, it's Safeway.
Yeah, Safeway.
Oh, the Railwood. Yeah, so you're speaking about that plaza area?
Yeah, and the Italian Colors is like right across the street over there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we something. I go to Italian Colors every Saturday. Very nice place. Love the chef.
What's your favorite dish?
Love his team. You know what? The Brussels sprouts. Honestly, they put some meat in there, so it's really, really nice, and it's bountiful. But I think a lot of places, one, if they don't have the redevelopment on the outside and it's looking old, I say those things, number one. Number two, you just have to have a good business idea. You can't save a business who is not participating.
Right.
You can't build up the community and then we'll say, because as business owners will say, oh, you didn't do anything for us, but you got to come outside. One of the things of value of my business is I didn't start my business from the door to the cash box. I started it from the street, across the street to the cash box, because it's about community. Because if everybody out here is safe, I'm safe. Some people concern themselves just about what's going on in their business, and they have to wake up and know that it's a collective consciousness and it's a collective mindset that keeps everybody safe. The more people that are out on the street, the more people it's safe.
Right.
I have never had a security guard, but because the other places were open, I felt safe. COVID happened. Everybody was shut down. I cried. You can see some of my videos. I was crying because people were like leaving in the middle of the night. Like they would never say that they were closing, that they were going out of business. I was crying because I was like, what's going to happen tomorrow? How are people going to come back and really, their mental, you know what I mean? Like their the mental part of starting again, because once you get in business, like double dutch. You're going, and you're in. Once you're in, you're in. But now when you start, you got to go through a couple iterations to try and get back in there. And that's how I think business was during COVID. A lot of people are like, I give up. I'm not doing this. It's already challenging. COVID came. Let's get the money. Let's take the money and run. I can't get money, so I'm definitely out of business. What am I going to do? Move back home with family? There's so many different scenarios, but if we have the strength in numbers, we actually keep each other safer because there's this visibility. There's this hidden social, this silent, I wouldn't say hidden. There's this silent social contract that says that I keep you safe because I can check on you. I can tell you there was a gunshot victim downtown, and because I was outside, I was able to help. This guy, like he comes back and he just like hugs on me and loves on me. I was like, yo, like I feel like I was saving his life.
Yeah,
I was saving my life. You know what I mean? Because I was saving my life, and I think also part of this is, part of my reason. It's like an onion. You'll hear a lot of things, but the same consistent things is that I'm unsafe. At night, let me put this hat down. I'm unsafe as a Black male at night. I'm unsafe. Not only am I just unsafe from, potential statistics that go along with being a Black male, from police, from community, but we're all at risk. It used to be in Oakland, crime was centered in certain places. Now crime is everyone's issue. There's a one Oakland issue, public safety. We can't even enjoy the city. Merchants can't even enjoy making money, doing what they really love. This is a play that's just not talking about money. They really love this. They really put this together, and it's a reasonable cost. But it's about knowing that I'm at risk. So if I can help save my own life, I'm going to help save my own life. If I can help put my business, sometimes I go into communities, I'm like, can my business survive over here? Like, really? And if they can't, it's not safe enough, because my business is built for women coming in, men for sure, but women and trans people coming in to shop. I want them to be safe all the time. And if that's not happening in the city of Oakland, then my body is not safe.
Hey, as a business owner, has the city talked to you about AB 464 Mullen, which was signed into law last year, and it would allow the creation of an enhanced infrastructure financing district where the tax increment revenue from that specifically earmarked for businesses that have been impacted by the pandemic. That's actually in the law.
Yeah, I know, but
they,
you know,
that, though?
Yeah, you know, they haven't told me, but you tell me every time you talk about AB, you talk about it all the time, and you know, and that's good. You have to keep communicating that. But as a small business owner,
the city hasn't done it though, don't you think?
Well, you know, the city hasn't done a lot of things, and I won't say people as representatives of the city. I say the city. I'd say the people who are continuing to elect the same people. They haven't done it, because you need to have somebody who's going to be a little bit better responsible with making sure that what's earmarked for something gets to something. I don't think people have a problem paying for anything. They have a problem paying for a waste of their money.
Well, see, that's what I'm getting at. Because, for example, we used to call it redevelopment money. It's not an extra tax. It's just a reshifting of property tax direction to allow us to form programs like we used to do. And what concerns me is that the city is so broken that we have people like yourself who come in, but we don't show them the tools by which they implement the ideology, which is in this case empowering business owners.
Yeah.
You know, right. So you know, so that's why I'm asking if they ever told you that, and the current people running. I'm just wondering what's going on, because it's not a matter of me talking. I talk about it because it's a powerful tool. If you do the math, or you know, I'm happy to teach anybody that contacts me. It's
I heard you say you taught somebody. You just tell it all in your videos.
Well, the thing about it though, Nina, is the problem is that I went to school. I don't want to make this about me. That's not even right.
No, this is good. This is good.
But I'll just say that I started this in 1986 when I worked for the city of Oakland. And I was honored to work for the city because of its mix and its diversity, which now the country is copying, right? But during that time, it was before the internet, and we had an idea of going to economic development to empower people, particularly Black people, to have their own businesses. We got up to a point where we had 120 job training nonprofits, mostly owned by Black folks. And that was financed by the same funding mechanism I'm talking about now. We've done it for years. It's just that our city has forgotten how to do it. That's why I'm talking about it so much.
Keep talking about it.
You know, and that's why I say what you're talking about, and I wasn't going to say it, but I'm thinking all this could be fueled by that. And then you see how the city is looking, and it makes me cry.
Well, my favorite politician, besides someone who stays in office, is Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown was like, I remember he was, and he said that we have to be honest that we don't have money. The same headlines then when Mr. Brown was elected are the same headlines now for Oakland. And he's still not, and he's no longer elected. Us saying San Francisco this, San Francisco that, this. Oakland, I need everybody to get behind Oakland. I need everybody to get out there and do the work. one of the things I always say is instead of criticizing, create. And in this moment, instead of criticizing, I said, let me step behind here and see what I can do. But also while I step behind and potentially be honored to serve community, that I make sure that I encourage and train leadership, because Oakland has not been a hotbed for developing leadership. It's only if you're in the city or if you believe this or you believe that. Like, there are a lot of independent thinkers out there, and we have to get everybody on board, and we have to afford ourselves the ear to hear everybody, because the problem can be solved. One of the things I don't like about government is it takes too long. I need it to go a little bit faster. If you think about a kid graduating in 4 years, I need the project to go a little bit faster. I need, if it's traditionally two years, I need it to go in 1 year. We have to start to stack up the deck for our community. Like, for example, it took Chantel 2 years to get the Allendale done from, thought to conception. And 2 years. Well, if I can get 1 year for one park, I can do more things. But now I got to find more money. But also, I think in District 4, we have a lot of volunteerism, super volunteerism, because they're not, people will say equity, but a lot of them are still working because they have to work. But they care about the community. They really care about the community. But they're doing so much work where they're becoming their own city, if you will, city administrative services. And now as they push to the city to get things done, the city is like, wait a minute, I don't have time, or I'll get back to you. And so those things really hurt the core energy of the community, and say that the city is not valuing the work that's seen. It's just that the city is overwhelmed and can't really manage. And so we have to get our systems better. We have to if our systems, and I believe they are, and I know some systems have changed, but if our paperwork system, our systems, the way we've done things are the same way that we were doing them in the 90s, which I think we are, you got to throw that out. You have to we have to have a system that really works and functions with us. Like I foresee on my council page, I've already been talking to my system friends. I'm like, can I do this? Can I do this? They were like, well, you got to do this. You got to do this. Like, to really project management out things so that as people age in this district, because 55 age and older is my average voter in this district, that we take the information and give it to the city of Oakland and not keep it with the person. Because I want information to live with multiple people, not one person. I want to work. Like, one of the things you say in business is work to fire yourself, right? I want to work to fire the community from doing so much at that level and make the city do what it's supposed to do. Work the way it's supposed to work. Work the way it's supposed to. I went to school for public management to work in city government. It's not working the way it should work. Yeah.
How do we get service delivery up to speed in your view? Because that's one big problem that is a child of the pandemic that I don't know that is solved. Like picking garbage, that sort of thing,
Well, I have some mattresses outside of my house, so I'm still clocking service delivery because I'm probably the only one on my block that uses 311. Our 311 in our neighborhood is when you take it out your house, you put it in front of somebody else's house, and then you want it moved. They move it faster than they come and pick the city comes to pick up things. They move it to where because they got cameras outside so they can see who brought it.
Yeah, that's the case in Adams Point too.
Yeah, that's the case. So what I'd like to see happen is, 1, we have more than one mattress system. 2, we have a clear defined system with who between the city or waste management comes out to do things. I think things are just a little bit less streamlined. They need to be communicated, because as they're communicated, everybody knows the process. If you can go house to house and not have the process known, it doesn't work.
Right.
You need to start using KTOP to do more communication. We have resources. Let's use what we have. Let's use what we have. Just use what you have. It's like, I know KTOP is like soul beat for Oakland, but It
Nothing
still
wrong with Soul
works.
Beat. Nothing wrong with Soul Beat. Hey, so what do you think about as we draw to a close? I would be remiss if I didn't ask you for your thoughts regarding Howard Terminal.
Mm-hmm. Like, you got to come up with something else. I need you to find another question. I mean, everybody gonna beat Howard Terminal to death. Who is Howard? Who is Howard? Why is it named Howard? Tell me that.
That actually goes back to the gentleman's name, but I think the more important, if you had to ask me the question, as I told John Riemann on the program before, who's Oakland Socialist running for mayor, we had I love to argue anyway, but we had a big argument off camera that I thought was necessary and productive. But what I was saying to John is that a lot of people don't know what Howard Terminal is because the city didn't really follow the law in forming it. So, Howard Terminal goes back to the year 1999 when it was first proposed. So, but my point is, by dint of the fact that the city is 3 years behind schedule, it has become a media thing. And so, if I do an interview, I'm expected to ask.
About noon. Just to go. Yeah.
So you're bilingual.
Ding. Check. Yeah. It's getting better.
Language.
It's getting better. I didn't say that right. I said, how old are you? That's what I said. That's not what I meant to say. I meant to ask him for the check, which is money.
Hey, you're light years ahead of me. I'm impressed just listening. That's fantastic. Yeah. And it's also Oakland. But my point is, how do you think about Howard Terminal? Not so much me, but
Yeah, no, I understand. I think it's necessary. I definitely think it's. Come on. I think it's necessary for us to have something experiential here in Oakland. Come on. We have to have something experiential. We also have to have jobs. We also have to build.
She has her A's hat on. Note, she's got her A's hat on.
Not all baseball fans are Howard Terminal fans, so let's just be clear about that. But because you go to the stadium, they're like, I just need it to work. They just like, I need them to win. This is Billy Bean. But we have to have something. We lost a couple teams, man. I came here because of the culture of the teams. Yep. I came here because of the culture of the teams and the music and the landscape. And we have to continue to preserve that landscape. I just think about it where when the Warriors left, they're like, oh, they lost the Warriors. How did the mayor do that? And then the Raiders like, oh, she lost them all. She's just horrible. Get her out of there. Now it's like you want the team to stay in there. It's taken 2 years to even get to the contract. I don't know how to answer that, for a community, but for me, I love it.
Uh-oh. I think we lost her there, folks.
I think it's a really good thing, and I want to continue to bring projects like that to Oakland that continues to transform the community, because this is what I do know. Oakland is a blue collar town. And you can work easier for yourself here than finding a job in Oakland. Most people work outside of Oakland and they live in Oakland. Yes, so beat is Miss Deb. We have to start bringing things here in the city, and it also makes people have something to work for in their community, and that's important. And so I want to champion it. I know it's the devil in the details, and we want to make sure the details work for everyone in the city of Oakland. But definitely, I think it should be here. We got to continue to build. You can't not build your way out of it, and you got to build your way out of it at the same time. And we have a lot to do. And Howard Terminal is the way Howard Terminal is going is probably the way Oakland has gone for a long time. Very difficult in doing business. And we want to have a better landscape for people to move on. I like my grandmother say, give a monkey enough rope, he'll hang himself. Give him enough rope. Let's keep this train going.
Yep.
Get people out the way that aren't good for Oakland, and keep it moving and keep building. And here's the other thing is too, it's like, as you have these different corridors, you're also opening up for other businesses to be in those corridors. So your expansion is not just for the big business, but it's for the supporters, store sizes like myself, not just in Howard Terminal, but, building up 7th Street in West Oakland. That Matt Horn is over there doing a great job of that, expanding through the community. That's awesome. You also want to continue to do that. Piedmont Ave is getting some new retail space over there. You want to continue to build up around Woodminster. You just want to continue to build up. You want to build up Laurel. I'm in the Laurel, so I really, really want that neighborhood to do very well. You have Diamond. Diamond has some couple developments coming around. You want them to do very well. You want North Oakland to do well, the North Pole. But I also want Fairfax District and East Oakland. I want East Oakland to have businesses that look like downtown. I want to be able to get a salad in East Oakland. We have a lot of work to do. And I pray that we all can really rally around the city of Oakland, because that's all it's about.
Oh, hey, thanks, G-Deb. I appreciate that very much.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, by the way, tell them your campaign. How do they contact you?
Well, let's see. You're going to be able to contact me here. Let's see. You're going to go for a joiner for Oakland.
Okay, I'll write it down.
.com. Yeah, I'm writing it down. .com. You could also find me at Nenna Joyner on Instagram.
I beat you. I beat you.
You beat me? You got it up there? Okay, cool.
Joinerforoakland.com.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, you can find me those places. I hope this interview was encouraging you to either donate, hit me up. Let's take a walk and talk about Oakland. And let's just keep growing the good things about Oakland, because we got a lot of stuff here. And so I hope you build on something that's already been in your city and develop something, as an asset.
Who are you backing for mayor?
I'm backing myself.
Oh, you're gonna run for mayor?
I'm worried about my race.
Gotcha.
I'm worried.
Gotcha.
You know what? It's great to see. It's great to see democracy working. If that's what's happening. You have a lot of candidates, and we'll let the voters decide. But I have enough going on in my own race, because it is a new district, and it's not as much of the flatlands, and it's a lot of steep hills to climb.
Nenna, basically, but when you go into the polling place, you know who you want to be mayor. You can't share that with us?
When they allow you to come in with me, then we'll explain it.
Right on.
How do you ask people that question? How do you really ask? Because even if they answered it one way, they can write it another. Until you start seeing what people really put down on paper, that's like politics. You say one thing and then you do another. What I really want someone to say is, I do not know. I will keep my opinion to myself. And to sincerely for me, I got a lot of work to do. Seriously. But here's the other thing. I want the right person for Oakland. It's all about Oakland for me.
I think
you ain't even in Oakland, and you asking these questions. Can you still vote here?
Yeah, I'm not in Oakland.
Oh, okay.
Wait. What do you mean I'm not in Oakland?
You've been away for a minute. I'm just checking your residency.
Yeah, but you didn't know what you're looking at then. You have no idea. No, you don't.
I'm just asking. It's a question.
I'm telling you, you have no idea what you're looking at.
Okay.
I still live in Adams Point. I still pay.
Oh, rent. I know. I'm just messing with you.
No, I mean, but my whole point.
But once you eat enough chicken,
because what I'm proud of is I'm able. This is technology, okay? And I know some people don't like it, but I'm able to have an influence, okay, over what happens in Oakland from a massive distance.
Absolutely.
And rather than some people getting upset about it, you think this shows you how stupid a lot of people in the media are. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm black, they don't ask. If I were white, they would be asking, how you do that, what tools you need, right? Like you did with Occupy Oakland.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like Flex and Flex Rostrum and all those folks using live stream.
Sure.
I asked, all right. But when I do it, no one asks.
For a minute.
And I've been around. I've done this since 19.
Why do you think they don't ask?
Because I'm simple. I'm black, and we're hardwired in this society for somebody white to have the technical answer. Even among us, okay, we act that way. Okay, so it's a sickness of racism that works two ways. All right.
There you go. Say that again.
I've seen white reporter male after white reporter male after white reporter male after white reporter male come and go, and I have stood and done this since I'm Oakland's first blogger.
Mm-hmm.
Started Oakland's first blog in late 2003, in 2004. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Oakland's first YouTube partner channel creator. YouTube invited me. And then in 2007, I was on the CNN YouTube Democratic debates as the only representative of Oakland. And you know who answered my question 52-minute mark? Our current president. All right. And
really?
Joe Biden. So my point is, I have a long history here, but because I'm black, I don't get an award. No one acknowledges it. I've never got a city day or anything like that. If I were white, I'd have all those things. I've seen.
Well, I'm gonna give you your flowers right now. You know who you remind me of?
Huh?
Sanjeev.
I know Sanjeev. Sanjeev was Sanjeev was a friend of mine. In fact, Sanjeev was my liaison when I tried. I'm the only person in NFL history to form the bid to bring the Super Bowl to Oakland.
That was you.
That was me. Xenophon Abraham. That's me. Okay. Out of 11 cities, Jacksonville, Oakland, and Miami. But instead of saying, "Hey, Zenny, you did a great job," Robert Gavin Newspaper Express says I failed. I said, I called him and said, "What are you saying I failed for?" Right? I'll never forget when he wrote that. So my point is, I've been around, but there are people who literally, to this day, have a hard time with a black guy who has a platform who states an opinion. All right? Because of the reason there's not a lot of us around to this day. And we expect someone white to do it. All right?
I appreciate that.
It's ridiculous. Like we can't have a brain. I program my own sites. Oakland News Now, which is my Oakland News Now blog, was attacked as many as 45 million times in 1 month. That's several times a second. Many times a second. Still standing. Never worked. Okay? Because I programmed it. You ask me a question, right? I'm telling you. We're so screwed up as a society, we can't accept that a black guy to this day can do that.
Can do it. That a black person can do it.
Right.
Whatever it is.
Right. And I told Libby, I should be running Howard Terminal because if I ran it, it would have gone off the ground. This division between North and South would not exist because of all the people who listened to me about using.
You said the North and South.
Well, I meant East Oakland and right. Okay, but Dave Cavall actually listened to me to do it. And I said, you can't get it done without affordable housing. You're going to need tax increment financing to build it. Otherwise, you're not going to get your ballpark. But because of, the way Libby chose to do it and hiring people that have nothing to, by her own admission, don't know what they're doing. She said that on my show. We have this problem. I know what I'm doing. But there are people who have a hard time that I'm saying it. So I'll continue to say it because they can't prove me wrong. And every time someone tries to, what they demonstrate is they haven't read the doggone legislation, let alone know how to do tax increment financing math. Okay?
Look at you. Go and say it. Say it again for the people on the back.
Because, we could save our homeless problem if we have the tools. Earl Fife could have went in. She could have went in and stated the Polanco Act immediately, taken over all these houses that are owned by these corporations, and did what she did on a mass scale what she did on a small scale. But does she listen? No.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So because there are those of us who have a hard time looking at somebody like me. So, hey, here's how you get it done.
Right.
And that's just a fact. Like I said, I'm 50 years old now. I'm through being nice about this stuff.
You know, they say the longer you live, the less you care.
Say again?
The longer you live, the less you care about whose feather you ruffle.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think that's true.
Because I've been nice to a lot of people for decades. Decades.
So I want to say to the audience, you heard it here first. He's mad as hell about how Oakland is being going. Dev said, "Go Zenny."
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what's up. I'm happy I got you going.
I'm at the Late Merit Breakfast Club, right? I'm asking you a question of this D.A. O'Malley. I asked to follow up. Abel Guillen's there. I'm clear because I said, hey, I need to clarify. I give a clarification. This is all on video. All right. And all of a sudden somebody says, oh, come on. I said, and I'm thinking, what? And he shuts me off. Seriously?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And, all right. So I would have let that go. Now I'm like,
your blood pressure up. Your blood pressure over there up.
Yeah, because I'm tired. I'm tired of this because of the way the city looks. Oakland looks like crap.
Yeah.
And people have been acting like this, and the city has been doing what? Okay.
Trending downwards. So
they have nothing to say. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Shang does the same thing. February 2nd, I have this on text that I put up, okay? She schedules a meeting with me in Zoom because she wants to know from me how enhanced infrastructure financing district legislation works and tax increment financing. All right. We scheduled, but then she doesn't want anybody to know that we met. And then she will never allow me to interview her, but she'll interview some, white reporter from Channel 7. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's BS. And then she'll say, oh, I have no problem. My chief of staff is black. So anybody that's under her control, she's got them in the background. When it comes to showing us publicly in commercials and everything, oh, no way. Stop this crap. This has gone far enough. So you're doggone right I'm talking about it. Yeah, and she says, write a book. Absolutely. She's right. And we play into this stuff. And then we wonder why our lot's not getting better. That's ridiculous. Alberto Rocco said to me a long time ago when I was working for LAU, Zenny, you like what you're getting, you keep on doing what you're doing. I don't like what I see, so I talk about it. If someone doesn't like it, too bad.
Instead of criticize, create. All right, sir. It has been beautiful. I got to get to my next meeting. And to Ms. Deb, thank you for entertaining. The food is good. Huh?
Stick around in the background. Look, folks, check this lady out. Give her your backing.
Yeah.
Fantastic person. All right. Stick around in the background, Nina. Don't go anywhere.
Zenny, I got you.
Subscribe to Zenny62.